What's up everybody, Max here with your fix of gaming news. Coming up, GTA 6 is taking so long to come out, somebody is developing a game about its development. Some sloppy AI art in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has people pissed off at Activision, and it looks like Cyberpunk 2077 is going to get some more updates after all. Let's get into it. Well, it looks like GTA 6 will be out in May of next year. That's not Grand Theft Auto 6, mind you, but it's Grand Taking Ages 6, a parody game about running a studio that's developing a highly anticipated game, which popped up on the PlayStation Store this weekend. There's not much to go on here, but the key art, which appears to be AI generated, is very clearly aping Rockstar's recognizable oversaturated GTA aesthetic. It would actually be sort of funny to see some game developers rendered in this style, but sure, generic sexy criminal types, that probably gets more people's attention anyway. The official description reads, quote, "The most anticipated game about making the most anticipated game. You're now in charge of the biggest gaming disaster, ... or masterpiece? Run your dream game studio while juggling angry fans, corporate chaos, and endless delays. Fight your way through gaming conventions, dodge ruthless journalists, and master the art of creative excuses." Based on the key features listed, it sounds like this will be a fairly straightforward management sim about game development, something that's been done quite a few times before, but there's nothing in the way of screenshots or assets to go on. The developer, Violarte SPZO.O. has an official site with the tagline, "A game studio with making dream games." Checks out, as well as some apparently AI-generated staff photos, fake awards, and a list of games that include Little Kitty, Adventure in Time, Zen Farm, and Anime Friends, none of which seem to actually exist anywhere that you can buy or presumably play them. Now, it's possible this questionably real studio gets a call from Rockstar's lawyers, but it's more likely that somebody over at the PlayStation Store's curation department actually wakes up and does their job. I'm all for smaller developers being able to sell their wares on console storefronts, and Rockstar is by no means beyond parody, but something tells me this is more post-shovelware than a legitimate satirical indie game. But hey, me telling you about it just helped kill a couple more minutes until the actual GTA 6 releases. Yep, any minute now. Okay, so speaking of AI-generated slop, it's one thing when smaller devs utilize the tech to cut some corners, but it's something else entirely when a multi-billion-dollar company gets caught exercising a six-finger discount to save a few bucks, which is exactly what happened this weekend with some loading screens and art in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. The main offender is the Necroclaws loading screen, a paid cosmetic item that features Zombie Santa reaching toward the viewer, and it's pretty cool until you realize that he's got 6 fingers. Okay, so the idea of somebody having 6 fingers is maybe more of a possibility in real life than an undead Father Christmas, but it's also a telltale sign of generative AI art. Another promotional image features a gloved hand holding out some gobblegum that also has a suspicious amount of fingers. Redditor Sean Ledee poked around in some recent loading screens, which are part of paid cosmetic bundles, and spotted a bunch of details that also indicate the use of generative AI, which is to say, weird that just doesn't make any sense visually when you look at it closely, like staircases that don't go anywhere, or perspective that completely ties itself up in knots. The issue here is not strictly that AI is being used at all, but rather that its use isn't being disclosed and that it's got such little quality control. How many fingers am I holding up is literally a question you ask people who've suffered head injuries to make sure they're all there. So the fact that Activision shipped this 6-fingered zombie Santa either suggests that nobody internally noticed, or they just assume that players wouldn't notice. And either way, that's pretty unacceptable for the latest entry in one of the most successful media franchises in history. If Activision can't afford to pay actual human artists to make art, they can at least pay people who can count fingers to just quality check the AI stuff they're putting out. At absolute bare minimum, they can have the common courtesy to disclose when generative AI is being used at all, so anybody who doesn't want to support it can go spend their money elsewhere. Just throwing that one out there. Anyway, speaking of bleak dystopian futures where the line between man and machine has been blurred beyond all recognition, CD Projekt Red has announced that a new update is coming to Cyberpunk 2077 to celebrate the 4th anniversary of its release. The post on the official Twitter account reads, "Join us for a new episode of Red Streams, where we'll dive deep into the new features coming soon, trademark, for Cyberpunk 2077 in Update 2.2. See you tomorrow at 5 p.m. CET on our Twitch and, for the first time ever, simultaneously on our YouTube channel. For those of us stateside, 5 p.m. Central European Time is 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, so set your alarms, or just mosey on over to IGN at your own leisure, where we'll definitely have a breakdown of what's new." That was your fix for Monday, December 9th, 2024. If you were looking for good old-fashioned beat-em-up action, go check out our review of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, and for all of your gaming news, you are already in the right place. IGN. See you around, everybody. Have a good one.